Hi, my name is Summer Road, and this is my reflection on text for Our Iceberg is Melting by John Cotter. I just wanted to say that I liked this book. I thought that it really showed what steps are needed in order to make change successful. So I'm going to talk in my reflection about relating this text to something real that happened to me. And I'm also going to talk about how change can be scary and what we can do to make it not so scary. There are no-nos around, so it's important to make sure that they understand the vision that is needed to be seen and the ways it's going to be achieved. As I said, change is inevitable. Change is always happening, all the time. So this book just proves that you need to understand that change is coming, and you need to come up with the best ways to face it and move on. So I'm also going to talk about what the story taught me, and we'll go from there. First of all, I was the front office manager at a large orthopedics group, and how this story relates to me is a change that we underwent. We went and changed our emergency medical record to, electronic medical record to a different company, and you would have thought the world was ending. That was a very big change, and one that a lot of people weren't too keen on at first. So I was actually on the committee that came up with how to task this change, the best way to go about it. I was sort of on the lower totem pole of that committee, so I didn't make a lot of the decisions, but I did give my input. So based on my job experience, I do have some experience with change. It didn't have to do with my family or anything like in this story. However, it had to do with my job. So that's what happened with that. The next slide is understanding that being scared is okay. As far as this story goes and how it relates to me, it's important knowing that change can be scary. It may not be to you, but it is, or it could be to somebody else. So it's important to understand that, what I gathered from the story anyway, it's important to understand that other people might be scared, and it's your job as part of the leadership crew or whoever's tasked with the change to make sure that they understand the vision and how it's going to be reached. So the people that were scared in my situation was mostly the nurses, because they're the ones that put in the orders. They're the ones that type up the medical record, that kind of thing. The doctor just pretty much has to sign it. So that was who was scared when it came to what I was dealing with. And what we had to do was make sure that the nurses understood that there was support to help them, and that if somebody was too scared or the no-no of the group, that fear-mongering and pessimism was not okay, and we needed to help them understand what was going to happen next. So to be a no-no, they're okay as long as they say their concerns, then they listen to what's being said to them, and then they need to change their mind and get on with the change. So, but like I said, fear-mongering and pessimism is not okay. Like the kindergarten teacher who was telling all those kids in the story the bad things about, being in the sea and that they were going to get eaten and that kind of thing. That's fear-mongering, and that's not okay. So the fact that this book even brought that in was pretty good. As I said, there are no-nos around. Preventable no-nos are preventable. What you have to do is, like I said, share with them the vision. Make sure they see it. Put up posters, reminders. Keep the communication open. You need to realize that different personalities are working together toward a common goal, but if everybody doesn't share that goal and vision, change might not happen as quickly and as seamlessly as it did in the story. So it acceptance is key. Also, pessimistic people, different personalities, people that are stuck in their ways, those people are everywhere. So no one wants to be the grouchy old man who yells at the neighborhood kids, or the one holding out, not wanting to change anything because they're set in their ways. So they need to be shown, maybe in a different way. Maybe a step to take would be to take them, build that model like Fred did and show them what is happening, why the change is needed, what the steps are to take, and go from there. Different people need different ways of understanding things. So, in conclusion, the story is a metaphor. So the characters can be seen as people we know. I mean, it's a very simple story. It's not fancy or long. It was an easy read, but it was easy to relate to. Our job, in business or in our family or whatever needs change in the government. I'm on village council for my little tiny town that I live in. I had a meeting tonight. So it's important that change continues. Otherwise, we'd still be stuck in, the 1950s or something. Women wouldn't have the right to vote. It's important to help people see the good that comes from change. Using the steps, the 8 steps that are in the story. It's important to use those steps, and that's how another way to help no-nos. It's a good way to implement action, enable the people that need to make the change. As far as the story goes, it taught me the process of successfully advocating and implementing a universal change. While personality types and that kind of thing could be difficult at times, it's important to understand those people and to help them. That's our job as business people or in our family. It's to help the people that don't understand the vision. Show them. Teach them. Otherwise, what's the point? Thank you.